Shalom, shalom, family, and welcome once again to another Shabbat Night Talk. My name is Chief Uzi Alewi. I'm one of the teachers at Congregation BINAH, CHOKMAH, BINAH. Thanking everyone for being here with us tonight. Giving glory to the supreme intelligence of the universe, Yehovah, the God of our forefathers, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Can everyone out there please tell me how is the stream? Just make sure to share make sure to share the link to what we have going on here. Give me 1 second here as I try to see how the stream is going across. Please give me a 1 if the stream is coming across good. Please give me a 1 if the stream is coming out good. All right. I just got to make sure that that everything is working well over here. Just making sure. All right. So please just give me a second here as I try to figure out. Everything is one. Just making sure that everything is good with the videos. With the video, making sure that everything is torah. Just give me 1 second here as I figure this out. Hope that everyone had a blessed. Said audio is low. Audio is low. Okay. Audio is low. Let me put the microphone a little bit closer. Maybe the audio will be improved once I do this. Okay, so first thing, to everyone that's on, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for being here with us tonight and enjoying this Shabbat day of holy rest before the Creator of heaven and earth. Thanking the Creator for my life, the life of Yisrael. Thanking the Creator for all things and everything. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful to the Most High God for all of us, and that He continues to be with us and bless us and protect us and guide us. A lot better now. Okay, great. How y'all feeling out there? I'm giving glory to this great King because of my life, and I'm giving glory to this great King because of everything that He continues to do for me, the way that He blesses me, and through the good and the bad, I give glory to this great King for being there. Okay, so we have a revamped website. I want you all to go there and check it out. Told out to my brother Chief Naftali Ben Don. He's up there, Naftali David. So, Shabbat Shalom, Ima. How are you? Shabbat Shalom, Ima Havared. Say Shalom to Adon Zamir for me. Shabbat Shalom to everyone that's in the room. So, we have a revamped website. D.C.B. is the same. It's the same screen name, www. Go there, you can see the new revamped website. And you could actually watch the streams from our website. So this is exciting for me. My brother, Chief Naftali Ben Don, just did this. So I want to see how we look. Videos. I guess we go to videos, right? Videos. where do we go to? Not sure where we go to. Would it be in the home page? The home page, okay. In the home page, you can see the live stream. And if you press play, we'll be right there, streaming live. Still through YouTube, but you can watch us on our page. And on our page, as you are in the home page, and let me see if I can share that with everyone. Our home page. This is nice and exciting. To people on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see it. But if you go to the people on Facebook, Shalom, Sister Rhonda, Shalom, Ima, Alicia Dye. On Facebook, if you go to www.D.C.B.org, you can also see our website. So I'm going to screen share with the people. I'm going to screen share with our people that's on right now. So let me just close some of this stuff out so I don't confuse myself. All right, here we have it. So don't forget to share the link. Let everybody know. So right now, let me look for D.C.B. Should be right up here. I want us all to give a big torah to my brother Chief Naftali Ben Don for revamping the website. So I'm going to take you from the home and show it to y'all. Those of you that are not as computer savvy. So let me see here. All right, all right. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I know I've done this before, so let me add one more thing. Right here. Display capture. Okay. So okay. What the heck is going on here? I done messed up. Just give me 1 second here. All right. Let me see if I can make it work. All right. Let's see here. All right. So let's see. Still nothing. I got to try to figure it out, folks. All right. So let me see what I have to do. Maybe it's a window capture. Okay. Let's see here. YouTube. This. There we go. All right. Transform. Fit the screen. Here we go now. So now, this is our new website. Hope that you can see it. Bake D.C.B. is in our blue, the way that we have it. So as you can see there, you could do everything from the website. Hopefully you can see it, see how it looks, and join us there, right? So you could, as you can see, let me scroll up. Let me scroll up on it. Right there, you see, there is like a image that changes, that has words of wisdom, and it goes into other images, proverbs and scriptures, right? That's the home page. The home page. Then as we scroll up, you see our mission statement, our live stream, and this is what's happening right now, our live stream, right? That's our live stream right there. You can press play. If you want to come to the website and watch us or go to YouTube, it's all fine, but you now can see our streams live on our website through YouTube. As we scroll up or down, you will also see our statement purpose. Statement purpose. And then at the very bottom where it says downloads, you could download our prayer and songbook, which I have to update. I have to give it to give the new link to Chief Naftali Ben Don. Then you will see the Tanakh that we actually use. You could download it. 1917 JPS Tanakh, which is the one that we most prevalently use, and the Hebrew alphabet chart for those who want to learn beginner's Hebrew. All right, so that's our home page. Very easy, and very, very nice. So next. Next, we go to where it says truth, right? Now, it might not go to this. All right, here we go. Hopefully it changes to where I went to truth. Hopefully it goes to where I said truth. Hopefully. Okay, I think not. Okay, so it's here, truth. We here. As we scroll up, the end of all matter, of the matter, all having been heard, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every deed into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it is good or whether it is evil. Ecclesiastes 12, 13, and 14. So This is what we see here. Statement of truth. Next. History. Please be aware that when we refer to present day Israel, we're not referring to the present day land of Israel. So it's given a rundown of us, where we come from, our tree that we originate from, so forth and so on. The next on the bar is videos. So basically what you see here is all our YouTube videos, that our services and stuff like that is linked in. So if you want to catch some videos, if you want to refer people to our website, they could also catch some of our videos. The next, very important, our events. You can stay abreast to all of our events. We have calendars, as you see here. Calendars with all the days that we do the services. You can see the chapters that are coming up. Basically, you can see all of that. And if you go through the calendars, in May we're going to have a few events coming up. So you know, our Unity Weekend, all that's coming up. The next one is the donate button. So, and what you see when you press the donate button is, this is a sketch which our brother Chief Naftali Ben Dan sketched out of the place that our sanctuary. This is the concept of the sanctuary that we're looking for when the Most High God blesses us to be able to do so. All right. I'm not going to talk about anything else, but you know, donate is self-explanatory. And the next button is contact us. Right. This is how you could contact us. And this is all our information right here, where we're located, how you could email us. All right. How you could submit a message and so forth and so on. Now, I'm not sure if my brother's going to do it, but I don't know if there's a way to register, or if it's even needed to register into our site. So as you can see, everybody please give a hand to my brother Chief Naftali Ben Dan for doing a magnificent job of revamping our website with our colors and with everything else. As we go along, there's going to be other things that we're going to be doing. So that in itself also will be a great thing. So thank you, my brother Chief Naftali Ben Dan. Hope that I didn't bore y'all with that, or make y'all. So the people on Facebook, go to the website. So how did y'all like that? I hope that y'all like that. Hopefully we could keep up with this actual website and do the things we're supposed to do on it. All right, so thanking all of you once again for coming and being here with us. And it's a beautiful site from the website. You can look at it from the website, and you could see our streams from there. So I like it. You know, it's time for it to be revamped. get rid of some of the stuff that was on the original website. So what's going on here? It said my stream is bad. You need to change the video resolution to current resolution is 768, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected video resolution is 1920. Okay, can't do nothing about that right now, Tom. So how y'all feeling? Hoping and praying that the Most High King with us all, protect us and guide us, and that the Most High would be with the nation of Yisrael wherever we are located, that the Most High will continue to bless us and protect us, continue to shelter us, and be with us and guide us. All right? It's very important for us to pray to the Creator. First thing I want to say is this. Last week, I ranted and raved because I did not have how do you say it? I did not have the full information of what happened to the little young daughter in Houston, Texas, Jasmine. And I want to say this. This is an example as to why you must wait for all facts to come out. We were all under the impression that she was murdered by some Caucasian person. So I'm here to do this. I'm here to apologize to whatever undisclosed white person that I had in mind that I thought that killed that little girl. Come to find out it was two of our own savages who through mistaken identity, so they say, thank you, through mistaken identity, and they murdered that little baby. So the same fervor and how do you say, that despicable act that you guys committed, praying that the Most High God will judge you. And Texas has the death penalty, so you're gonna have to deal with that for killing one of our beautiful daughters, whose life was cut short. But the Lord giveth and he taketh away, blessed be his name. And you're going to have to pay for that. But the lesson that I learned is that before I make any statements or before I do anything like that, that I must learn for all the facts to come out. That's why some people don't make statements before all the facts come out. So I apologize to you. I apologize to all the people out there for making a mistake as such. Another thing that I would like to say is, when speaking about the Shabbat last week, sometimes I get passionate and sometimes you say things by rote. What I realize is when I say things that I have in muscle memory, meaning things that you've learned from, that's been passed down to you, you've heard in teachings that your teachers have said, that you've heard over and over and over again. Sometimes you say things and you don't realize the things that you're saying because you're trying to drive a point across, right? And in saying those things, sometimes you slip with the lip, or you say things that might offend people, or you don't really think about the things that you're really saying. All right, and I say that to say this. In terms of the Shabbat day and people keeping the Shabbat day in their homes, and And I have to apologize to the listening audience online that who listens at home, because when I initially did it, I didn't want you guys to be offended. But sometimes when you speaking with so much passion, it seems like you could offend people. And I just wanted to say this. Sometimes you don't understand the situations. Sometimes you don't understand situations of people. Sometimes people leave places because of things that are happening in places, right? And they don't want to be a part of that. I might be forcing you to go to a place where, from the statements that I'm making, a place that doesn't just worship the Most High God. So when I'm saying you have to go out, you can't sit, you might say, well, Chief Uzal said you got to go out, you can't sit at home, and then you end up going to a place which will turn you away from serving just the creator of heaven and earth. I have to be aware of all those things, right? And when I speak about the Shabbat day and the holy convocation or holy gathering, or a proclamation, that I must be aware of everyone's situation, because people have situations, and you guys make us, you guys online help to make us grow, right? So I don't want y'all to ever think that I'm ever attacking y'all. Sometimes you say things because through the years people have tried to bring things into Israel in reference to, and to try to do away with certain things that we've been doing, and try to talk against it for their own benefit. And sometimes you get passionate because you get caught up in old discussions or old things that you've discussed. So you teach with passion and you teach with certain fervor, but not knowing that in teaching with that passion, with that fervor, might be offending people that are diligent, might be leading someone astray, might be leading someone to the worship of another God. So for that, I apologize to all of you. And I'm not saying that I won't slip up again, because there are a lot of things that I have in muscle memory that I must try to revamp or try to redo or try to find better ways to express them so I don't offend people. This is why I'm glad that I have certain people that call me and tell me certain things, that advise me, that I got a slew of people that call me or speak to me or tell me, well, I don't think that maybe what you said there, or you must really think about this. Ima Havared being one of them, out of a few people that call me and tell me certain things, and I appreciate that, and I don't want anyone to ever think that I don't appreciate it. And I do listen, and with the things that are sensible and the things that I see to be right, I try to make an effort to change it and to try to be better. Now, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I might slip back, and like I said, that muscle memory and those things that you remember sometimes are things that take a little while for you to change. All right, so I don't want to lead anyone astray or lead anyone to a place where they won't be comfortable. So if this is your holy convocation and this is your place of worship, brothers and sisters, this is your place of worship, right? And I apologize to any of you that I might have offended in saying those things or the way that I say them, all right? Right, and that's what I was trying to express. But when I went back and listened to it, sometimes everybody, you might have a newcomer. So the people that's been here understand, because Kawa says, I thought you were just saying, don't misinterpret scripture. It doesn't mean you must stay home on Shabbat. Right. And that's what I was trying to say. But, you know, sometimes people might not understand it that way, especially when we have new people on the line. Those of you that have heard these lessons, that know these lessons, you already understand that. But that's for the new people. It might be a little bit more difficult for them to understand those sort of statements. So, yeah. Thanking y'all for being so understanding and thoughtful and being there and doing the things that you do. So, I always appreciate y'all. Y'all are the people who keep me going, keep us going, and keep us elevating and moving to a higher level, to a higher plateau. So thanking the Most High God for all of your lives. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that Yah does for us. I'm grateful for everything that Yah continue to bless us with. You know, last week I wanted to touch a couple of subjects, but the Shabbat day was so interesting. And just to add a few things that I might have forgotten, because Ima Keturah pointed it out to me. She said, Chief, she said, son, you forgot to tell them you can't iron on this day. You can't, you know, there's certain things that I forgot, you know, but no manner of work, the ironing, any of those things that we cannot do, you know, going to school, doing homework. This is a total day of rest. Any secular activity must be put to the side. So there you go. Our brother Chief Naphtali Ben Dan is on. Naphtali David, as you can see. Everybody could just show him the love, give him the hand clap for the revamped website. Chief Naphtali is the one that does all of our graphic work. He went to school for that. This is part of his profession. So, you know, when you see our logos and you see all the graphic work that we get, that's Chief Naphtali Ben Dan. That's his job. He did it from the old congregation that we were in, Shema Yisrael. He did the graphic work that originally was there, awnings and whatever you call it, to what he's doing for us now here at D.C.B. Always been really, really thoughtful. Let me tell you a funny story about Chief Naphtali Ben Dan, right? Me and him is the same age, but, well, right now, I'm technically a few months older than him, maybe like 6 months older than him. But when I first came around to this way of life, I used to see him, but although he was 13, right? He was much more advanced than all of us, like 13-year-olds. We were like 13, but we were still like stupid 13. But he already read books, and we weren't even thinking about reading books. I mean, I just come around. I just got my hand on the Bible. I just started reading it, and he already had been doing this for years, you know, and he was born in this way of life. So he was just that type of individual that he just always had the spirit of nationalism, pushing the agenda of us as a people, trying to build a nation. And in doing that stuff, the Most High God blessed him with insight. I know that he was always a big fan of the structure of the Nation of Islam, the FOI and all those things. So the Most High put in his heart to build a lot of he, from our newspaper, The Third Eye, from the Most High God blessed him with the willingness and the strength. You know, he helped us to get motivated. You know, we were all motivated to try to do certain things. So, you know, he helped me with the graphic work as I started doing videography, and he was in charge of the print part of the media. I was in charge of audio and video, and but graphics and stuff like that. He had his hand on everything, because the graphics that I needed for DVDs, and those times we would have DVDs and stuff like that. He would create them, the wraps and all that stuff for the DVD cases, and it was, you know, he always just put his hand forward to do certain things. He always has had that mentality. So what you hear, the type of fervor and excellent teacher that he is now, he was always that, just a younger version. You know, he was a 13-year-old at 13, 14, and was already teaching. So, Daffy J, I have a quick question about Shabbat. I know we shouldn't use fire during the Shabbat, but it was brought up to me the question of what do you do if you need to heat or light? If you need to heat or light, can you clarify, please? If you need to heat or light. I'm not understanding heat. Are you speaking about heating up food? If you're speaking about heating up food, then that's a no-no. Things like if we live in a winter environment, most of our homes have thermostats, which will turn the boiler on and off. I mean, I'm not telling you to sit in your homes and freeze, right? But as far as cooking food or warming up food on the stove and things of that nature, we don't practice that. We don't practice that. We also don't practice the heating up foods in microwave. This is a day where we basically eat sandwiches or salads, or some people eat cold food. Some people eat cold food, and things of that nature. You know, so these are things that they do, and so just for us to understand, you know, we're not telling you to sit in your homes and freeze overnight, because that, you know, that's not what we're telling. If we were in the land, we always teach that. Oh, I understand it, that you can't gather sticks on the Shabbat, but if you got your sticks gathered before the Shabbat, right, and let's say you're cold and there's a fire that's already kindled, you know what I'm saying? I think that the emphasis is on starting the fire. If the fire's already started, and some of you might look at it differently, but if the fire's already started, then you could feed the fire. I'm a proponent of that, because I don't think that our forefathers froze if they needed to stay warm. So it says, don't kindle a fire. But if the fire's already kindled and you got the firewood there to add it to the fire that's already kindled, I don't see anything wrong with that. But that's the way I look at it, okay? Yeah, if you need heat in the house, I mean, your thermostat is working. When it gets to a certain temperature in the house, it's going to kick in, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you need light, just turn on your. We never thought that turning on a light switch was kindling fire. You know, it's to us that was never kindling fire. The emphasis to us was on lighting an actual real fire. So thank you, Daffy J. I'm glad that I was able to clarify that. Let me see. Any more questions? Whatever I could answer, I will answer. But that's what it is. So let me see here. I think what do we have here? So everyone out there, does everyone out there know what Tanakh is an acronym for? Anyone out there, if you know, do you know? I know sometimes we have a lot of, do you know what a Tanakh is? Or what Tanakh is an acronym for? Anyone knows what Tanakh is? Or what's the meaning of Tanakh? Shabbat Shalom, Yahweh. Good to see you, my brother. So, law, prophets, all right, Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim. Exactly. That is the acronym. So you get the T from Tanakh, the N from Nevi'im, so from Torah, I mean, the T from Torah, the N from Nevi'im, and the K from Ketuvim. So Torah is the instructions, right, that were given to us that we find in the first 5 books, right? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. So then you have the Nevi'im, right, from Nabi, or, the prophets. So the book of the prophets are Joshua, Judges, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Hosea, Yoel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi, right? And then the books of the writings. The writings, or the Ketuvim, right? Book of Psalms, Proverbs, Job, Song of Songs, Ruth, Lamentations, Ecclesiastes, Esther, Daniel, Ezra, Nehemiah, 1st Chronicles, 2nd Chronicles, right? So those are that's what's going on there. So let me see something here. I just need to So right here we have the Tanakh, right? That is for newcomers. I think I gave this lesson last year to all my people, so just bear with me. The Tanakh. Tanakh is an acronym of the first Hebrew letter of each of the Masoretic texts, 3 traditional subdivisions. Torah, which means teaching, also known as the 5 books of Moses. Nevi'im, prophets, and Ketuvim, writings. Hence, Tanakh. As you can see, I got the 3 letters in bold. Torah, Nevi'im, for the with the N, and Ketuvim. Right? So now Torah. Tau, Wow, Resh, Hey. Right? So Torah means instruction, teaching. Torah does not mean law, but Torah means instruction or teachings. I know sometimes I make the mistake. I call Torah law, but that's that muscle memory. Torah actually means instruction or teaching, right? That's where we find the laws of the Most High God. But Torah means instruction or teaching. So Torah, instruction or teaching. Or in Christianity, the Pentateuch, 5 books, right? So when you hear Pentateuch, that's more of a Christian saying, meaning 5 books. It's the central reference of our Israelite tradition. It has a range of meanings. It can most specifically mean the first 5 books of the 39 books of the Tanakh. The term Torah means instruction and offers a way of life for those who follow it. It can mean the continued narrative from the book of Genesis to the end of the Tanakh. From the book of Genesis. Let me see, make a connection, make a correction right away. Can't go wrong with that. Save that. Now I create all these slides. Hopefully in creating all these slides, I'll be able to share it and you guys have some point of reference as to what is it that we do. You know, so you get the point of reference, you get an understanding, you will have the notes. The slides are basically notes, all right? To edify you so that you guys will be able to understand it, what it is exactly that we're doing. So now here we got, let me see what's going on over here with my peoples. So now here, Genesis. We're gonna go through the names of the books in the Tanakh. All right. So the book of Genesis. Genesis, the meaning of Genesis, right, is a Greek word, which means an origin, creation, or beginning, right? So when we say the genesis of something, it's like the beginning of something, right? It's just a word that means beginning. It's no pagan connotation behind it. It's just a Greek word that means beginning. So when the book is translated, remember that the Tanakh or the Torah was translated. They brought 70 elders, and that's how you get the Septuagint, right? The Septuagint is the translation that was done into Greek from the original Hebrew, right? And that's what the Greeks did. They got us to translate the book from his original text into Greek. So thus we get the word Genesis, or the beginning, the origin, creation, right? But in Hebrew, the book is called Bereshit. Bereshit. Beit, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Yod, Tau. Right? Bereshit. I have it there transliterated in English so that you will know how to say it, pronounce it. Bereshit. In the beginning. So Bereshit, bara Elohim. That's what you see when we first open up the book of Genesis, Genesis, first chapter. Bereshit bara Elohim, right? In the beginning, God created. says, so the root word for it is reshit, reshit, which means beginning. The root word rosh for reshit, rosh, which means head. So as you can see, the root word, the resh, the aleph, the sheen, right? As you see the first three letters of reshit, right? So rosh is also the way you say head, right? That's how the Europeans, Jews, they say Rosh Hashanah, right? Means that the head of the year, which they mistakenly call that in the month of Itanim or Yom Teruah. They call it Rosh Hashanah or a new year, which is not what the Most High God commanded us. The Most High God told us that the month of Abib, around the Pesach season, should be our beginning of years. All right, so, but Rosh also means chief. So when you hear people call me Rosh Uziel, that also means chief, right? So here goes the meaning: head, top, summit, upper part, chief, total, sum, height, front, beginning, right? So it all comes, so it's the head, the top, the origins, the beginning. It goes all the way back to Bereshit. So this is how words are constructed and how we get to understand the Hebrew language. So here we go. That's a good question. Well, usually what I do with the slides, what I do with them is I put them in a link below the YouTube video, and then you could download it and they'll be all yours. I share the slides. If people know me, they know that all my work, I usually share it. I usually tell people you might need to, you might need to improve on it. I might have made a mistake on it. So you could improve on the work that I put out. I share it freely with anyone. The Most High God tell it. We're told to buy wisdom and sell it not. So whatever I get, whatever I retain, and I share with y'all, I usually just give it away. All right? For everybody to follow. So let us move. Exodus. Exodus, another Greek word that means a going out, a departure, or emigration, usually a large number of people, right? The singer Bob Marley has a song called Exodus, Movement of Yah People, right? So it's a large immigration or departure of a large number of people, right? It's also a Greek word, right? That means departure or going out, departure. So now how do you say this in Hebrew? So when you hear Moreh Arania speak about the parasha, or the portion for the day, he will begin to talk about portion or sidra Shemot, right? So Shemot is how you say Exodus in Hebrew, or Shemot is how you say it in Hebrew, and Exodus is how you say it in what we know as English. So Shemot means names. So Shemot, names. The root word is shum, shum, or shame. Shame means name, right? But the root word of it all is shum, or sum, sum. Sin, wav, mem. So feet. Sum. See, I had to make a correction there. Sum. To put, place, set, appoint, make, right? So you appoint a name to someone, you place a name on someone. I guess that's the root of it all and where they get the name Shem or shame. 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 We say Shem because that's the English pronunciation, but I believe it's like shame. Mem, Sophie at the end. Shame. Shame. All right, so try my best here, people. So that's what that is. Let me see here for a second. Let me close this out. Open this back up. Sometimes when we do these things, these are not people's favorite lessons, but sometimes I have to do this for the newcomers, the people that really don't know. So just bear with me. So the next book is the book of Leviticus. Leviticus, third book of the Pentateuch. Right now, remember, Pentateuch is how the Christians say the first 5 books, right? Or the Torah as we know it. Circa 1400s from late Latin Leviticus or Liber, literally book of the Levites, as you can see, right? Because a lot of instructions are given to the Levites in that book, so that's how they interpreted it. From Greek to Leutikon or Biblion, from Leuites, from Hebrew Lewi, right? So literally they got Leviticus from the Hebrew Lewi. When you look at his you get it to his barest form. Lewi. So we got here. But in Hebrew, we say Wayikra. 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 No, I've been around more in Mishal because he makes you pronounce everything. Wayikra. Wayikra. That kuf. So it's Waw, Yod, Kuf, Resh, Aleph. Wayikra, and that means, and he called. And he called. The root word is quara. Quara, which means to call out, recite, read, cry, etc., etc. Cry out, proclaim. The next word is Numbers. Numbers. The name of the book comes from the 2 censuses taken of the Israelites. So that's where the name Numbers, and Numbers is self-explanatory, you know, counting or whatever. So Numbers. How you say Numbers in Hebrew, or the book of Numbers? Now these don't have, some of these don't have the same meaning like this one, right? Bemidbar, 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 in the wilderness. That's what Bemidbar means, in the wilderness. Bemidbar, Beit, Mem, Dalet, Beit, Resh, Bemidbar. Root word is midbar, midbar, which means wilderness, right? And the root word is davar. So davar means to speak, declare, converse, command, promise, warn, threaten, sing. So that is the root word, davar. The next word is Deuteronomy. Literally means second law in Greek. Deuteronomy. literally means second law, all right? But in Hebrew, it's pronounced devarim. 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 Devarim means, so, words or things, right? And the root word is davar. Word, thing, speech, speaking. So, and it also sends you to the second root, which is davar, speak, declare, converse, command, promise, warn, threaten, sing. Right? So, devarim and bemidbar have the same, if you break it down to the deepest root, they both have the deepest root, davar. So that's for devarim and for bemidbar, right? So those are the first 5 books. So that's just to give you an example of what is it. I'm not going to go through everything. How we pronounce these books and how we say certain things, and so that we stay abreast, right? We stay abreast of everything that that's right in front of us, you know. And to understand this way of life is, see, the important thing about doing this, as you can see this week, I'm not struggling with my eyes. I'm right on point. Right on point. I got my other eyes on, and I'm good. Thanking the Creator for that. I was suffering the last few weeks. Says here, I hope that you got something out of that. That's for the new people that really don't understand Torah. I want to say this, right? I know there's a lot that went on in the news this past week. A lot of you looked at Lifetime and all of the mess and the things that are going on in the world. I just want to say that you know, we have to be really considerate of people. I don't think sometimes us growing up, and I'm speaking about as a society, especially as a group of people, of black people, we don't understand sometimes the amount of damage that we've done within our own community. And I'm talking about black people in general, with some of the things that and the behaviors that we have. And some of us, not all of us, have been complicit to some poor behaviors throughout the year. When I mean complicit, I don't mean that we personally have done certain things, but sometimes we've turned a blind eye to situations that cause people to be affected for the rest of their lives. You know, it's sad. And seeing the events of this past week and seeing what happened, you know, and seeing all of the things that people have gone through, and all of the things that people still suffer from, it's important for us to understand that cause and effect is real. When you do certain things, they do have a certain effect on certain people, and that we have to consider that when you're taking the actions that you're taking, that you're damaging someone, you know, that you're damaging someone, and that's real talk, you know. Torah by Garrett by Shaver. I will make that correction, and I get it. Definitely get it. I get what you're saying. Let me make that correction right now. Thank you. So yeah, we have to begin to consider all the things culturally that we did, and that we do as a people, because we hurt loved ones, we hurt the people who love us, you know, we hurt sometimes by not saying anything. We hurt people, you know, and I think that there are a lot of hurt people in our community, in the black community. This thing opened up some wounds, and y'all know what I'm talking about, and those wounds are not easily healed. You know, time doesn't heal all wounds sometimes, and when you see just the pure disregard for people's feelings and the things that people, you know, is, you begin to think about our community and certain things, and I just want to, you know, and I want to put this out here because I feel like with everything that's going on, you get like a little bit conflicted, right? So I know in our culture and in most cultures of the world, and I want to have this discussion because sometimes we're afraid to talk about certain things, but you know, in our culture, and not so much in Western society, because Western society has moved away from certain things that are cultural. I think that in our society and in many societies, you always had the factor that that older men, you know, and it's always like that, or for most part, you know, older men sometimes they take younger women. That's not far fetched. That's been something that been going on since the beginning of time, right? Um, with our forefathers, um, it's just part of. It was just part of our culture, I guess, you know, and part of many cultures. But I think and this is a sensitive topic, so I just don't want to open it up and say that and just say it wrong, because you know there's so many people that are affected by things like this, and you know sometimes these wounds are still festering and they still remember, and you can't tell people not to remember and not to forget, and to forget, I mean. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ima Havaret is calling in. Shalom, Ima.
Hey, Shalom. Hold on, let me close this. Turn this down some. Praise Yah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And may the Most High bless the whole house of Israel and everyone in the sound of my voice.
Hallelujah.
Yes, yeah, we all, I don't know how many people, but I know I saw the documentary on, I think, what you're speaking on.
Right.
And, you know, the situation, me coming from Chicago, it kind of struck a chord with me because we see this kind of thing every day. And I've been seeing it all my life growing up.
Right.
You know, it's kind of a part of our culture, and then again, it's not a part of our culture. It's a part of the society that we're in, how we view each other. And, you know, the sisters, you know, it was a poignant thing that a lot of the women were saying that came onto the show. They kept saying that it went on for so long because it was black women.
Right.
And as much as we, you know, we love each other and we struggle together and do these things, there is there's a disconnect with the importance of the sisters and how precious they are, and things that happen to us from a young age. And in this country, a man could marry a lady at 13, and in our culture, a man could marry a lady young, a girl young.
Right.
Even in the African culture today, they still have those tribal traditions where once the young lady starts coming to her nida, which is considered her cycle, she is displayed, and then to let the young man know that she's ready for marriage. But the thing is, the poignant thing, I think, would be marriage in the situation. A process of respect, a process of training, a process of rearing them up. And the Most High speaks on this, even in the Torah of our culture, of how we're not to take advantage of this situation, that this is a precious thing that's supposed to be nurtured and raised up the right way until she's ready to become a wife. But in our culture, well, in this society, I'm not going to say our culture because we're far removed from that. But in this society, it teaches that we can misuse that privilege. And we can take advantage of that privilege. And even parents are taught to turn a blind eye to certain situations when certain things are involved. And that's how this thing, and these types of things in general, get so far out of hand. But the thing that strikes me, and the only thing that I can say to everybody involved, and that's the parents, the women, and the men, is that everybody is responsible for their own actions in a situation. And you are responsible for what you do in that situation. It doesn't matter about what anybody else is doing.
Right.
If you know that you have a responsibility, then you have to stand and you have to do that responsibility correctly. Maybe you're training a young lady who came from a bad home or, a bad situation. There's no need for us to do these things because the Most High say, the daughters of Israel are not supposed to be treated as wayward women. They're supposed to be treated with the utmost respect. And so that's the parents' responsibility. That's the young lady's responsibility, and it's also the man that's pursuing her as responsibility. So, you know, it's a tragic situation, but we all have a responsibility in this.
Right.
And everybody has to be honest about the part that they're playing. And once you're honest about the part that you're playing, then you can change some things.
Right.
But as long as we're making excuses and we're not really looking at the thing that the sisters are going through a lot, and we're still going through a lot, and we need our brothers to stand strong. We have daughters, we got grandchildren, we got nieces out there, and you know, a whole lot of people knew what was going on. We had managers involved in this. You had parents involved in this. You had, other celebrities and stuff coming in and out, and nobody opened their mouth. And it's just a reflection of what we need to address. And it's like that anyway. Right. That network. I know we say that saying, that good old boy network. Well, we got a network too. And we have to face the network that we have, because if we want things to change, we have to be the change that we seek.
I
don't know how this is going to turn out, but a lot of people got hurt, and a lot of more people are going to get hurt, because this is something that's normal now. You know, you see the young girls out there all day long, you know, and, you know, they're dressed like they just got out the bathtub. Pretty much, you know, or get ready to go to bed. Right. And it's okay in the society, because, you know, we're just not demanding that this not be the case. And the young men, too. So, you know, that's my thoughts on the subject. And I pray for the Most High to help us to rectify all these things, because it's shameful.
Right.
And it's unnecessary, because if we say we're better, then we have to be better. And we have to be responsible for each other. There's some children on my block. It's 3 little boys, and it's related because of the mindset. There's 3 little boys on my block, and most of the people on my block are working families, and they can pretty much take care of themselves and their situations. But this particular family, they're having some struggles, you know. They come up through that generational, you know, no father at home type of thing, and, you know, grind. The brother says they're grinding, and I think most of us understand what the grind is. I mean, it's a hustle.
Right.
And a lot of people on the block don't want their children to play with these little kids, these 3 little boys. Right. And I tell them, you're wrong.
Right.
Why not? They're the same children you were. Because your life has changed a little, now you don't want to be bothered with these children. We have to show them that they still have value. Because if we don't, when they go crazy and turn wild, we'll be talking about that too. But we have an opportunity now to stop that before it gets bad. Right. And so I take every opportunity to show them they're worth something. So, you know, anyway, that's all I'm going to say. You know I don't talk too long. But all right, well, praise the Most High Yah.
Praise the Most High.
Shalom.
Shalom, torah ima. Yeah, I was really, I had to really think back, like, to when I was young, you know. I could remember, and I had to think, what is this a culture of our community? Because I could remember going to high school, being in high school, and, you know, being young, you know, you see the girls, and, you know, naturally, if you're in high school, you're 16, 15, 17, 18. You know, those are the ages in high school, unless you're a super duper senior, as they would say, right? There was always this, and I didn't think this way, but there was always, like, the guys who took advantage of the younger girls. You understand what I mean? Like, like a predatory like type thing, like a oh, she's dumb and naive. But we're talking about 17-year-olds taking advantage of 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. If I don't know if that's the word we could use, taking advantage, or I'm not sure. Like, you know, and then it was like then you would see things like you had like the like the girls. I mean, guys used to pull up in front of the school and Acuras and you know, the cars of the days that people, you know, that were nice cars, and they'd be driving away with some guy that obviously was older than them. You know, you see these guys, some of these guys were older, and you could see what they was into, and you start to question and think, like, is this a cultural thing that we got going on? Because I can always remember that it was like this, like a cycle. We couldn't get those girls. We couldn't talk to those girls because they was I mean, they were our age, but they were out of our league. You know, it was like, so then what was that? I don't have the answer. You know, I'm asking, like, what was that? Like, and in the neighborhood on the block, the girls, you know, the girls our age, the 15, 16, 17, they were flocking. I mean, you had your amount of decent girls that would talk to guys they age and wouldn't, but you had a section of girls that they maybe at home things weren't that well or whatever, and they mess with these older guys, or these older guys mess with them, right? And I'm just asking the question, was this a cultural thing, or is this something that, because in our culture, like I said, in the Israelite culture, there was always the fact that somebody took, the older men took younger women. So, all right, I got a call from Schenectady here. Shabbat Shalom, who am I speaking to?
Donnell.
Hey, Shalom, Sister Donnell, how are you?
I'm all right. Shalom to you. I was just, I was listening to you, usually.
Right.
You know, every Friday.
Right.
And, I know when I grew up in the temple, then I left. And one of the reasons why I left, I did come back, but one of the reasons why I left is because as soon as I came back, I had to be like 14 years old. And we went to the temple, Shabbat was over, we came back home to my grandfather's house. Every older man in the temple came to the house that night. And I was devastated. I was a 14-year-old girl. In my opinion, being 14, a 40-year-old man has nothing in common with a 14-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's unfortunate. I know this has been something that's been going on a long time, and I heard you say, you know, girls that were your age when you were in high school couldn't get older guys. It wasn't that. It was because you didn't have a nice car.
All right. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Oh, I know what it is. It's internet calling. Yes, sis.
Shalom. I apologize.
Right.
Dropped call.
All right, no problem.
But yeah, you know, it wasn't that you couldn't be with them. It was because they wanted more. They saw the cars, they saw the money, you know, the loud music playing. And then at that time, that mindset, because we're not taught to be more wise and knowledgeable, well, some of us were not.
Right.
Understand that all that material
Because everything that glitter is not gold.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the way society is and the way that we're growing up in these neighborhoods, all we see is what's on the videos, what's on the TV, what's in the magazine. That's all we see.
Right.
Unless you have someone at home that can instill that knowledge in you to be correct.
Right.
You know, but no, I really disagree with, you know, somebody 40 years old being with a 12-year-old
Right.
or a 13-year-old. They have nothing in common.
Right.
At all whatsoever.
So, and this is the part that's confusing to me, because I think Ima Havared touched on it. She said when it comes to, because now I connect everything to Torah, right?
Yes.
I connect everything to Torah. So when they said David was dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said find him a young virgin, to come warm him up and to see if he still got any life left in him, because they knew that if David was still had life in him, that he would take her, right, as a woman, and meaning that he would go in unto her. And this was a 70-year-old man. What age was this woman that they brought before him that was still a virgin?
She had to be young.
And this is the mentality and why I'm asking what I'm asking, because is the accent on, and by no means am I saying I'm giving my foot, but what age is it that we are talking? And I'm not by no means am I defending this animal. He was a savage. This guy was a savage. He was an animal. But with everything that happens in Abishag, if the Shunammite, if with everything that happens in society, I try to connect it to Torah and how it reflects on us as Torah doers, right? And how we observe things, right?
Right.
All the older men coming to your grandfather's house after Shabbat when you came back at 14, that was just, I don't know where that, I don't know where that comes from, but I just don't know. That's why I said I don't know. It's like sometimes I sit here as the teacher, but I don't know. I really don't have answers, so I look for answers so that we could come to a resolution as to what is it that we need to do. Because I've also seen Israelites marry, older men marry real young women, and they're still together after 40 years of marriage and 30 years of marriage. You understand what I'm saying?
But is that a conditioning where you grow to love that? Because remember, you have to court them.
Right.
So, like some of them not in the temple, but outside in society.
Right.
How some of these actors and singers, where they'll get these young little girls, 13 and 14, and be their friend.
Right.
Till they come of age, and then they tell everybody they're dating. So they're conditioning that person.
Okay.
To be who they want them to be. And another thing, I know you follow Torah. I understand you follow it wholeheartedly.
Right.
But these are men and women.
Right.
They made mistakes just like we make mistakes.
Right.
And we try to learn from it.
Right.
But they were human beings.
Right.
They're not perfect. They did some things that they were not supposed to, but was forgiven for.
Right.
Or they learned their lesson.
Right.
It doesn't mean that it was right because they did it.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. And then they had to come to the Most High, and explain, listen, this is what I did, and, or go on with their life. It's something that they did. It's not written in stone that this is the law, this is what you're supposed to do, get you this 13-year-old girl. That's not written in stone.
No, and I'm not even saying that. I'm not talking about a 13-year-old girl. I'm not looking at that. Some, you know, it's like I'm not talking about that. I'm saying somebody wrote, my child's father is 16 years older than me. So, and my father is 16 years older than my mother. And now by no means do I look at my father as a pedophile. Now, when he met my mother was 19, 20. So that made him what, 30 something years old?
Yes.
And so I don't look at my father as like, you are, man, you was a dirty dude, man. You was looking at my, and this is why I'm saying, like.
And you shouldn't, because your mother was 19 or 20 years old when she met him.
Right.
She already had the mindset of what type of man who she wanted to be with. Right. To comfort her and to love her. She was 19 or 20.
Okay.
That's different. She understood already. She ain't want no young guy. She was tired of the games. She wanted someone to settle down with. And it's really on the individual on that age. She knew what she wanted.
All right. And that's what I'm looking for. Like, what is... So Imam Havaret said, bottom line is, regardless of age, there's a right way and a wrong way to anything is the point. Okay. So
that's right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. Toda, my sister, for calling in, and I really appreciate your words. They really brought some understanding to me.
Well, shalom, and Toda to you also for allowing me to speak.
Shalom,
I appreciate it.
No
shalom.
Problem. Yeah, so, you know, those are the things that you look for. You look for some type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to, because and all the smoke, you know, and all the smoke, you know, we have to get some clarity after the smoke clears, after this whole thing goes away, you know, because then we have to look at our community, right? And we have to live with certain decisions that are made, you know, and things that we see. We're not talking about the like Imam Havaret said, the wrong things, but there's people that go about doing things, you know, the way that they should do them. And that's where it becomes, you know, confusing. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of things in the hood. I've seen a lot of things that you kind of like, I don't know if so much turn a blind eye to it, but, and when I'm talking about the hood, I'm talking about the hood in the streets, right? That were just accepted as being the norm. You know, like, hey, this is what it is, and you don't say anything, and you mind your business, and that's what it is. And I think that it breeds like a culture of a cycle, you know, but I don't know. But then in this American society, you get an old guy like Hugh Hefner, and he has a, you know, it's sick. I don't understand it, you know. I understand some parts of it. I don't understand some other parts of it, you know. And who's to say what, you know, I just don't understand certain things. I know the difference between being immoral and being moral. I know that. You know what I'm saying? And I understand those differences. And I guess that's what we have to base our lives on when it comes to living our lives in Torah. You know what I'm saying? And understanding. And that's why things like a one-night stand and things of this nature is not really within our community's moral structure. you know, because we have to think about certain consequences and things that can happen. So, I mean, I don't mean to put this to put this pressure on y'all, but I know there's a lot of women that suffered, that went through things, that seen certain things, and not every situation that I seen in the street ended up bad. I seen some couples that I was like, whoa, she's kind of young and he's kind of older and they still together. You know, it's like she loved that man, he loved her, and he never, that was it. He stuck with her and went through and she stuck with him. They went through the rough parts and they got children, and then how do I, when back in the day that was like the talk, but now it's like that's his wife, that's his kid's mother, you know. I don't know. Let's see some of these comments. We had a cultural understanding when older men took younger women. It was not an overnight process. Time passed before she was made a wife. Okay. Bathsheba Yisrael writes, Chief Uziel, a female becomes a woman when she starts menstruating. A male becomes a man at 20. Okay. Have I read at how I get you, but biblical people didn't play in fun their lives like now. The young was trained to be responsible at a very young age. They was much more mature than nowadays. I agree with that. I agree definitely with that. That the young were much more mature. Even here in you know, during times of slavery or in the South, a lot of our, if you look at the record of some of our grandparents or great grandparents, they was having kids at 16, 17. They were getting married at that age. They were really, you know, a 17-year-old girl was being married with a 25-year-old man or a 27-year-old man. It wasn't far-fetched. 30-year-old man, that was the norm. Like, if you look at marriage records and you look at certain things, like that was the norm. So, you know, just throwing it out there. And I know that sometimes it gets confusing, but and I just wanted to clarify that, because when all the smoke clears, then we have to separate evil from good. Every situation of that is not an evil. Of somebody older marrying somebody younger is not an evil, right? But there is what this person was doing continues to do is something beyond so what this guy was doing was he was displaying, or he displays predatory behavior, you know, preying on others and younger and exploiting people, you know. It's a touchy subject, but growing up I seen a lot of it, you know. So this is what I'm saying. So, you know, I'm not going to stay on this too long. I'm not, you know, I hope you got something out of this. It says, when I first came into the faith, I heard someone suggest that a couple should be at least 8-year difference, with male being older because females matured faster. Igdalia, shalom, shalom, Igdalia. Ima Bathsheba, what happens when they are getting unclean at age of 10? My grandfather, born 1908, married my grandmother when he was 18 and she was 16. Her mom was involved. They had 12 children and stayed married until death did them part. Wow, that's beautiful right there. They had 12 children. Goodness gracious. That's a blessing. That's a lot of kids. Your grandmother was having one right after the other. Torah YAH, that's a blessing. So at least we know you have a large family, 7T Crawlins. I know you have a large family. So yeah, we I struggle with these issues. You know, it's a little bit of a struggle because you see certain things, and I've seen certain things, and we're being complicit or not saying anything that make a person guilty, or you seeing it and whatever. We're talking about, we touched on that, but we're talking more so with the cultural, like, what are we, and we understand his predatory behavior, but in our communities, in the black communities, we've seen this kind of stuff go on. Not to the level that this guy is doing it, you know, but we've seen it go on. You know, the older guy with the car, you know, nice clothing or whatever, gets the little young 16-year-old. And we've seen it. We've seen this for years. And like somebody put in the room, oh, she's just a fast little girl. You know what I mean? She was fast. She looked bigger than really what her age is. And then it is what it is. You know, it's like open season. So that's what we're discussing, you know, and there were a lot of good suggestions and a lot of what Imam Havared say about the way to go about doing things the right way. So that's that. I'm going to end it there. I hope I haven't confused y'all more than what it is. I see the peak count went up to 90, but you know, we've been on for almost 2 hours, so just go back and catch the stream. Thanking you all for joining us. Don't forget our new website is up. If you can, take a look at it. www.D.C.B.org. All right. That's our revamped website. It's still the same address, but go there. You know, go to the link. Take a look at it. So, thanking all of you for joining us. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow in the morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on this same channel.